as me being a
Hmm.
layman and not knowing all these divorce terms and what this means, primary custodial and temporary restraining orders, and it's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, why do I need to be restrained? And what, why is
Right.
it, So it's like there are a lot of these terms that are scary, and so it's just like to help. Hey, this is a normal process. These are normal things we're doing, and this is like you're still gonna have your time, and you're still. I know we haven't dove too deep into this video, but I think it's important that we say, hey, like you have rights as a parent, right? And you have rights as even if you don't have children, you have rights to your assets and
Yeah.
your community property, right? So you will the court's not just going to rip everything away from you because of your situation, right? No matter what that is, right? Unless it's like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's something, it's going to be status quo with the exception of spending more time with the kids, if that wasn't your primary domestic division of labor, unless there's something just really, really problematic about the
Right.
status quo.
I do want to touch too that you specifically are very knowledgeable and specialized too with high conflict cases where maybe you have a special needs child. I know you've done a lot of that too. We know people that specialize with working with families that do have special needs kids because it is a long-term care that people don't always think about. And when thinking about even child support, they don't think about like everyone always asks, can I get their college paid for? I'm like, you can agree to whatever you want to agree to, but I've not seen it a lot. But when you have special needs or a child with a disability, there's care that goes well beyond the average number of years that we consider our children adults. And you
Right.
specialize in that. And I wanted to touch on that so people know that about you specifically here in Houston,
Oh,
Texas.
well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, I love working special needs cases because there's a special place in my heart for that. And the legal issues can be nuanced, and a lot of lawyers are not as experienced. The other thing I would say is that about college and 529s is
Yeah.
that is something that you really want to try to get addressed. Because I mean, if the 529s, that money's already there, there's certain language that should be used. People can enter into contractual obligations to pay for college in the future. They don't have to,
Right.
but they can. Technically, it's something the court can consider in dividing the estate, although depending upon what court you're in, that may or may not be a factor weighed very heavily by the court. But just
How is,
know that, yes,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
well, just know from a preparing for an intake perspective, be prepared to say this is too much information for me. You don't want to overwhelm somebody, because that's the thing. I mean, this day and age, sometimes a lot of people have been spending months thinking about this and rereading about it on the internet, watching YouTube videos. And so they really want certain nuanced questions answered. Other folks, you start getting into the weeds with them, and that's not where they need to be.
Right.
And you just have to let the lawyer whom you're speaking with know that, because I mean, me personally, I'm a big believer in that you have to take people where you find them and meet them where they are.
You
And
say that
some
too.
people are ready for the weeds and other people aren't, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with initially being very befuddled by this process, being confused,
Mhm.
right? Not just from a legal standpoint, but from an emotional and psychological standpoint. Those are all very natural feelings to have, and you shouldn't feel, a person shouldn't feel bad that they have those feelings.
mhm.
Right. I
Not at
agree.
all.
Oh, it is very emotional.
I appreciate everything that you guys both said on this, and